Joe Rosenell with the Front Line with Joe and Joe. Once again, let us go into the breach. Text messages have been revealed that the Canadian government pressured banks to freeze Freedom Convoy accounts before legally allowed. A week before the Emergencies Act was put in place, text messages showed that the Liberals were actively encouraging Canadian banks to take action on protests. Couple of things. This was unprecedented that Trudeau used the Emergencies Act. Basically, what he did was he basically said, I'm going to use a provision of the government that weaponizes the government against the people because I disagree with them. I disagree with them. You're going to see governments doing this a lot more because they got away with it, and they're going to continue to do it until a stop is put in place and or the language of the Emergencies Act is reworded so they can't just weaponize the government against the very people that voted for them. But here's the second point, and I want you to pay attention. There's such a thing being implemented right now by companies called ESG strategies. This is E, environmental, social, and governance, ESG. Basically what it is a woke agenda using social activism through a company. Let me give you an example. Say, for instance, you buy a gun in Canada and you do it with your credit card. The credit card will share information with the government. So what the government is doing through ESG policies is getting around its constitution and weaponizing the policy against the people without violating the law. It's basically collusion between corporate America and governments. And that is what happened. In a sense, it's a taste of the bank freezes on the truckers. The Canadian government and the banks colluded. And the text messages basically prove that. Now, what's going to happen as a result of these text messages being revealed? Nothing. Nothing. And I'm going to tell you why. Because a Canadian judge basically exonerated Trudeau in the use of the Emergencies Act. So what do you have to do? You have to reword that language, the government. You have to vote for politicians to reword that language to never, ever make such a thing happen again. Secondly, you have to also put politicians in place to fight against ESG strategies being used by corporations, because that is the weapon the government is going to use to collude with the corporation to get around their own laws. Take that one to the bank.